First half from probably the best player of the night.
Yeah, I'd say so. Shapley's, especially before the conditions get bad, he took the ball in the outside right position there. And all night he took the ball in those positions, but from this angle here, he goes probably to it, but Ferdinand doesn't quite get to him, and it's a kind of half-hearted effort there, and you really want him to. You can't complain at the goalkeeper, done nothing wrong.
Wonderful shot, wasn't it?
Great strike, great play, and when he get good service up there, he looked like a very good player, which he is.
Has he got a point there? I don't know.
For part of the game anyway, because especially at the beginning of the second half here, they had a host of chances, and it could have been 4 or 5. Every time you broke, they thought they were going to have a striking goal. And remember, they've got the wind behind them here, so when it goes out to the edge of the box, you know, they can really leather it from anywhere, and they've got a chance. But Leeds were fortunate throughout the night that none of these managed to get by the goalkeeper. But when you get Ferdinand's on the ball here, and he plays another terrible ball. I mean, it sounds as if I'm getting on him a bit, but that's a bad ball.
You are.
Yeah, it's a bad place to play balls into. Number one centre half don't play it to there in case, unless you're absolutely sure. But they kept on breaking forward, and they had no control of the midfield for about 10 or 15, maybe even 20 minutes. And this was another good chance. Quite an easy save in the end, but
Martin had a good night actually, didn't he?
He certainly did. But that was Shippers turning again, and all night he was turning in that little area, and they had no answer for him there.
Okay, we've mentioned Chapuzat quite a lot already, but an email from Maurice Young. I recall a few years ago Chapuzat playing Scotland for the Swiss national side. He was devastating, give him any room at all anywhere in the box. You're dead and buried. He's gone it, done it once before, he'll do it again unless you mark him as tightly as humanly possible. It's sort of a point you were making, Pat. You saw that, well, you were sitting on the bench, weren't you?
Yeah,
Unfamiliar positions for you.
Yes, I was on the bench until the last 5 minutes, and Chapuzat was bowing that day. But he does twist and turn incredibly well here, and if you don't get close to him, he'll shoot. If you get too close, he'll roll you. And it's very, very difficult to know what to do with a player of that quality. But Nunes was also very impressive, and this is spectacular skill. I mean, the turn is wonderful, but the ball in's a cracking ball as well. And to do it under the conditions tonight, it was a bit sticky. But it's lovely, a fantastic, it's quality. You could watch that all night. And as the game was going on, both of them were looking great players. But it just got a little bit too heavy for them in the end, and I think then the Leeds United power actually got on top.
And no doubt about what the turning point was, and that was the penalty. Was it a penalty?
Well, again, Les has got to the wrong side here, and he's not got back quick enough. And I'm not sure. Gary Bloom apparently phoned in, and he says he thinks it might have been a handball just about here. And
can't really see, can we?
Really
it could have been.
But that's the only argument you can say that it's not sending off. It's not a deliberate handball.
Didn't hit that well.
He didn't, and it's a shame for Nunes really, because he played really well. Keeper's done really well there, but on a night like this, I've found myself taking very poor penalties in evenings like this.
We remember that one.
Memorably against Manchester City, for anyone old enough. But I feel sorry for Nick, because he did a great game.
As Smith and Ferdinand were saying after the game, though, that Leeds really did show character then, didn't they? Stuck at it, which we haven't seen that sort of spirit from them abroad before this season.
Yeah, the old cliche, but they got out of jail. And when you do feel that you've got out of jail, then you get the opportunity to break forward. And they took the opportunities to break forward whenever they could. And as the game wore on, more and more chances came their way. And they were getting the ball in the 18-yard line. That's a bit of a rough field there, but there is nothing you can do at that. In England, there's some fantastic free kick takers just now, and I don't necessarily think it'll be a better free kick this season. There is no goalkeeper in the world that's going to get that, and he's a young lad. He's only 19, but I think the top keeper in the world wouldn't have.
And they kept creating chances, and eventually it ended up with Smith's goal.
Yeah, and all night he was causing all sorts of problems and hassles for them. And for the referee, it has to be said. It reminds me a wee bit of David Speedy, another boy from about 30 minutes along the road from him. Fighting and annoying and bothering them all night long, but they kept on creating little bits of chances. But as the game wore on, they just seemed stronger and more powerful, and maybe these were kind of British conditions that we were in. And when it finally did fall to him, he took his chance very, very well. There was a suggestion here of offside when it came to him, but as you'll notice there, it's hit off the defender's foot last, so he's not offside.